got a simple question for the Minister. Does the Minister think that average rents in Dublin of €2,000 a month are acceptable? Does he think it's acceptable? Does the government think that's tenable, to have average rents at €2,000 a month? Do they think it is tenable for areas like mine to have average rents of €2,200 a month? Does he think that when the average industrial wage in this country is about €35,000, that it is tenable for the average rent in Dublin to require €24,000 or more in after-tax income to pay it? I mean, you only have to ask the question for it to be obvious it's not tenable. It's absolutely not tenable. But the government hasn't got a proposal to deal with it. Its proposal is to allow further increases on those rents. However way you cut it, you say it's minimal, it's this, it's that, but it's still allowing for further increases on a rent situation that is untenable. And we need to really just remember every single time we discuss this what the human consequences of this are. And the human consequences of it are, if you are somebody who does not have a roof over your head, and in those areas you go out looking for rental accommodation, if you are on average earnings, even on above average earnings, but most certainly if you're less than average earnings, you are in deep, deep trouble. And you can be working, you can have a family, and you are faced with a very real possibility, and I see it every week in my constituency, of families who are working with kids at school, and because they cannot find or pay for accommodation at that price, because the HAP limits do not go anywhere near that level, that if they don't have a roof over their head for whatever reason, because the landlord decides they have to leave because of grounds of sale, or is bringing a family member in, or the situation is intolerable at home because of overcrowding, and how long can you live with your mother and your father and your grandmother, and so on, that you find that you have separation or domestic violence, and you need somewhere to live and you simply cannot pay that money, you are by definition in serious, serious trouble. And I have people then come into my clinic, as I did this week, a man just sat down and broke down in tears because he'd been given a date to leave. And he was looking for places, but he can't find anywhere because it's just not affordable. So I seriously ask the government, what are you proposing to do about this? And please, please don't tell me that a couple of thousand cost rental units next year is going to solve the problem. Please don't tell me that. Right? Or the amount of affordable housing. 60 to 70% of the people, if not more, are earning earnings of the sort I'm describing, right? And for where rents are just not payable. Please do not tell me that what you're proposing are going to see reductions in rent at any point in the near future. They're just not. The market is not going to right this. So we need a radical intervention. The very, very least you can do in this situation is say there will not be further rent increases. I'll be honest, and I'll say this direct to the opposition, I'm not trying to score political points. In my opinion, that's not enough either. Because it doesn't do anything about the new accommodation that's going to be built. Anything that isn't already, where there isn't already a rent, and of course we're relying massively on the hope that there's going to be a significant increase in supply, and there probably will be some increase in supply, but there's absolutely nothing at the moment to stop the new supply that comes on stream charging whatever rent they like. Anything they can charge. And nobody is making a proposal to do anything about it. So I propose minimum you support what the Deputy Nash and Deputy O'Brien and others are suggesting, and Deputy O'Callaghan and all of us have been calling for. No further rent increases in an untenable situation, but I have to say we're going to have to go further, or this is just going to go on and on and on. We need to set rents at affordable levels. It is done in other countries. It can be done and it should be done. It has to be done. Otherwise, we are not going to solve this problem. Now, if somebody else can give me a solution that will achieve what needs to be achieved, I'm all ears. But there is no proposal on the table at the moment coming from government that offers any solution in the short to medium term, or even, frankly, in the long term, that will actually bring rents to levels that are affordable by ordinary working people. There's just no proposal out there. Unless we grasp that fact, this miserable situation, which is imposing horrendous suffering and anxiety on people week in, week out, and their children, is just going to continue. So I'm all ears, Minister, but I'd like to hear the answers to those questions. Do you think those rent levels are acceptable? If not, what are you going to do about it? What is your proposal? Because at the moment there is no proposal. And as I said, please do not tell me, a few thousand cost rental units or a few thousand affordable units is going to solve that. It's just not.